Hey, it's Matt at the cabin, and I am all by myself in these big woods. There's not a soul out here, which is beautiful. It's the way you want it. So I've been in the woods for a while, and figured I would just do a quick video of what I got going on lately. So had my 3-year sobriety a few days ago, which was really cool. Just celebrated that with normal stuff. Had a great dinner, had some great dessert, and enjoyed that with my kids and wife and stuff like that. And that's what it's about. Just staying on the same path, taking note of that, and continuing to move on, whether you're at 30 days or 3 years or 30 years, whatever your moment is. And man, it's just beautiful out here in the woods. It's this is something I needed. I needed to get in nature, needed to get away from phones and TVs and tech and all those other things. Didn't think I would be out here alone though, but I know why. Because there was a pretty nasty storm that came through 15 minutes ago when I was out here. And heavy winds, lots of rain, touch of thunder, but it cleared out. It was 10-12 minutes and then it cleared out, so we're all good. And you know what? You just you don't, as long as you're safe, you don't worry about that stuff. You take advantage of it, you make the best of it, and you keep moving on. So if I'm looking about, it's because I'm looking for deer sheds. So it is mid-March here, and that's the time of the year where deer tend to shed their antlers for different reasons. Found a great hiking stick, great piece of pine. And I've been through these woods quite a bit, and I see tons of deer rubs, and whether it's in the ground or on trees, lots of deer scat, stuff like that. Here's some right here actually. But have not come across any sheds yet. And I started to get disappointed in that a little bit and said, man, I'm out here all the time and I keep going to these spots where I see evidence of all these deer and the deer bedding down and they're digging up acorns and doing all the right things. But then I came to the realization that, yeah, it'd be freaking awesome to find a deer shed. It'd be great. I'd be excited. I'd share it with my kids. They'd be excited for me because it's something that we have tended to do together. But it gets me out here, gets me out in nature, gets me out here experiencing what's around me, just the sounds of the forest, the crackling of the trees as the wind rips through, and the birds off in the distance, the smell of the pines. It's just beautiful. So yeah, I may not get a shed today, but that's okay, because the goal is being out here in the woods and enjoying the woods, having some solitude, resetting yourself mentally, and getting ready for the next one. So the other thing that popped in to my mind recently that I've kind of been thinking about to share is the idea of, see, there's a whole bunch of rubs right here all over this bush where deer take their antlers and rub all over the thing, leave their scent for other bucks. But maybe it's too early. Maybe they haven't fallen yet. I don't know. Maybe they haven't come off yet. But if you hear me scream or explore or whatever, that's going to be me, because I found one as I'm walking the edge of these woods right here. But the other thing I wanted to just mention was emotion and emotional control, what emotion means for us, and then tie that into alcohol just a touch, because it's kind of what we do here. So emotions are important to take stock in, right? We all have emotions, but if we want to be the best person that we can be, and we want to be the best leader we can be, the best partner, the best father or mother, grandmother, whatever your role is personally and professionally, if you want to be the best you can be, then you can't respond with those decisions or the decisions in front of you with emotion. It's the people that respond with emotion that sometimes make the wrong decision, get caught up too much with something quick or rash. And the emotions that you get, whether they're angry, whether they're anger, happiness, sad, elation, lonely, anxious, depressed, those emotions are like checkpoints. They're data points for you. So you can kind of think about what you're feeling, understand what you're feeling, and then doing something about it. If you feel anxious or depressed or sad, and you just continue to stay in your house or lay in your bed and scroll on your phone or just do one Netflix show after the other, after the other, after the other, you're probably not going to change that emotion. You know, you're responding to the emotion. You're not taking it as a checkpoint to do something different. But if you take those emotions as a checkpoint and a set of data, and you say, first, where'd the emotion come from? Why am I feeling sad? Why am I feeling happy? Why am I depressed? Why am I anxious? You know, why am I 1 minute over the top happy and then it turns quickly into sadness? What is going on? What's the cause of those different emotions? If you can try to break that down and figure out what the cause of those emotions are, then you can respond in a much better way to solve the issue based on that emotion. Not responding to the emotion, responding to the cause of the emotion that you have. Because if you just respond to emotions all the time, then you get to a point where you kind of lose your logic, you lose what makes sense, and you lose how to respond to things in appropriate ways and how to get the best out of yourself for you and for others. I'm just going to sneak up into the woods a bit here. And so I think that's a big key, you know, taking stock of your emotions, figuring out what those emotions really are, and then understanding them, taking them as a data point, and then going forward from there and making the best decisions for you and those around you. You don't want to be in a place where you're just run off emotion. And you know, you've had those people in your life like that. You've had those bosses like that all they do is respond to any situation, stressful situation, whatever, with emotion. And oftentimes it leads to chaos and disruption, and you don't really get to the best answer that you need to get to. So when you don't do that, when you take a breath and you take a pause, then you are much more likely to work through some of that stuff, and you become much more emotionally cognizant. You become much more aware of your emotions, the triggers of your emotions, what causes different things. And then you can respond in appropriate ways for those. And that's going to give you some stability, because you don't want instability, because that leads just to the cycle of stuff. So how does this connect to alcohol? Well, certainly if you're a heavy user of alcohol, much more difficult to regulate these emotions. I've talked before about how use of alcohol and anxiety and depression kind of go hand in hand. It's a really bad cyclical effect, but that is what happens. So you use alcohol to try to get away from, you know, anxiety and depression and sadness. And it might for the short term, because you can, you know, drown those emotions quite literally. But for the long term, it doesn't do anything for you. When you sober up, you get right back to it and you feel like crap. Because now, not only are you fighting off probably a hangover that makes you feel like crap, but maybe you're fighting off the guilt of, why the hell did I do that again when I know that that's not healthy? So that's really how it comes into play. The ability to reason or to take stock in those emotions and respond to the emotions as a data point rather than a disruption is really difficult when you drink a lot, when you're under the influence of alcohol. So there's a lot of other benefits. Obviously, we've gone through a ton of stuff like that, but today I just wanted to go through that. It was on my mind, and one way you can do that is by walking. I really, really believe in solvitur ambulando. Walking can solve everything. I'm out in the woods right now. It's a great reset. Even if you don't have anything on your mind, even if you seem like you're in a good place, get out there, get a good hike in. You can start with a half a mile or a mile or whatever you decide, but get a really good hike in. You don't have to do it in the woods like I do. You can find your own time and place that's going to work for you. But damn, does it really set you in the right place and give you a mental reset. It's a great thing. So hopefully that'll be something that you can learn from this a bit. And at the end of the day, whatever it is that you decide to do to get yourself to a good place, eliminating alcohol is going to help with that all the time. So get after it. Do what you need to do. Little steps all the time, one day at a time. And like I said, a big key to that is emotional awareness, solvitur ambulando, resetting yourself emotionally, and then getting back after it. So I couldn't be in a better place other than with my family, but they're doing some other things right now. So for me, it's being in the woods by myself, not a single soul out here. And It's just gorgeous. I love it. And I'm going to be quiet for a second and kind of show you where I'm at, just so you can get a sense of my surroundings, because, man, it's just beautiful. So there you have it. Nothing better than finding peace in a little place in the woods just for yourself. Bye for now.